I want to talk a bit about time management because this is something that I see a lot of people are struggling with. A lot of reasons why people are not achieving their goals. The excuses people give me is, I haven't got the time, or I'm spending my time elsewhere. But the thing is, we've all got 24 hours in the day, guys. So time is not actually the issue. It's more how you spend that time. Yeah, like what you choose to do with that time. It's the management, the organization of that time, which is the issue, and that is also the solution. The time itself is not a problem. So let me give you a bit of advice on how to best manage your time to achieve your goals. First of all, you've got to recognize what you're doing with your time, okay? So you've got to recognize what you're doing which is useful and helpful for your goals, and what you're doing which is not useful and not helpful for your goals. So, for example, you might recognize that you're spending more time than you need to watching TV in the evening, and you can probably get rid of that. You don't need to watch 2 or 3 hours a night. You could probably get away with just half an hour or whatever. You might recognize that you're spending too much time driving around. I don't know, but looking at where your time is at the moment, maybe you're spending too much time after work. You're hanging around after work doing pointless tasks that you don't actually need to do. Recognizing where your time is spent at the moment is the first step, because then we can start to prioritize that time. So once you know where your time is being spent, we can then start to prioritize that time towards the things that you want to do. And this comes down to your goals, and it comes down to your values as well, because we will naturally prioritize our time for the things that we value the most. If we value our kids more than anything else in the world, then we're naturally going to prioritize our time for them. If we value our business, then that's where we'll spend our time. If we value our health, then that is where we'll spend a lot of our time. So we've got to learn and understand what we value the most, and that is where we're going to likely prioritize our time. But once we recognize where we're wasting time, then we can start freeing up time to start prioritizing to other areas, such as health and fitness. And then lastly, on that note, it is optimize. So you're optimizing that time that you've spared by recognizing where you're wasting it and putting it towards where you want to prioritize it. Okay, so for example, you might recognize that you're spending 3 hours a day watching TV, and actually going to the gym only requires 1. So you can prioritize going to the gym over watching some crummy show on Netflix, and that is optimizing that time for your goals. Okay, but none of this is going to be helpful, guys, unless you do value your health and fitness. So all of this, all time management, time organization, has to follow solid goal setting and strong incentives. Get that right, and then you can start recognizing all your time and where you're going right and where you're going wrong, what's useful and what's not, and then start prioritizing and optimizing your time so you can actually put in the work to achieve the goals you want to achieve.